My name is Carol Grafford. I am very happy to be here today with all of you and offering today's message. The theme this month has been renewal. And when I reflected back on how could I approach that topic, I said, oh, well, this is the time to offer beginning anew. Beginning anew is a practice within the Thich Nhat Hanh Buddhist tradition. And it's basically a meditation instruction on starting over. So I would like to read to you a couple of pages, not long, in Thich Nhat Hanh's own words from his book, Teachings on Love, printed in 1998. And then I would like to offer you some things from my real life of how I have implemented this meditation. There are many ways it can be implemented. So I'll begin with beginning anew. Beginning anew is not to ask for forgiveness. Beginning anew is to change your mind and heart, to transform the ignorance that brought about wrong actions of body, speech, and mind, and to help you cultivate your mind of love. Your shame and guilt will disappear, and you will begin to experience the joy of being alive. All wrongdoings arise in the mind. It is through the mind that wrongdoings can disappear. At Plum Village, Thich Nhat Hanh's biggest, first meditation center in France, we practice a ceremony of beginning anew every week. Everyone sits in a circle with a vase of fresh flowers in the center, and we follow our breathing as we wait for the facilitator to begin. So I would like you to imagine yourself sitting in this circle with Thich Nhat Hanh and his monastics, but also thinking how it can work in my own life, in my own household. Thich Nhat Hanh goes on. The ceremony has 3 parts: flower watering, expressing regrets, and expressing hurts and difficulties. This practice can prevent feelings of hurt from building up over the weeks and helps make the situation safe for everyone in the community. We begin with flower watering. When someone is ready to speak, she joins her palms, and the others join their palms to show that she has the right to speak. Then she stands, walks slowly to the flower, takes the vase in her hands, and returns to her seat. When she speaks, her words reflect the freshness and beauty of the flower that's in her hands. During flower watering, each speaker acknowledges the wholesome, wonderful qualities of the other. It is not flattery. We always speak the truth. Everyone has some strong points that can be seen with awareness. No one can interrupt the person holding the flower. She is allowed as much time as she needs, and everyone else practices deep listening. When she is finished speaking, she stands up and slowly returns the vase to the center of the room. In the second part of the ceremony, we express regrets for anything we have done to hurt others. It does not take more than one thoughtless phrase to hurt someone. The ceremony of beginning anew is an opportunity for us to recall some regret from earlier in the week and undo it. In the third part of the ceremony, we express ways in which others have hurt us. Loving speech is crucial. We want to heal the community, not to harm it. We speak frankly, but we do not want to be destructive. Listening meditation is an important part of the practice. When we sit among a circle of friends who are all practicing deep listening, our speech becomes more beautiful and more constructive. We never blame or argue. Compassionate listening is crucial. We listen with the willingness to relieve the suffering of the other person, not to judge or to argue with her. We listen with all our attention. Even if we hear something that is not true, we continue to listen deeply so the other person can express her pain and release the tensions within herself. If we reply to correct her, the practice will not bear fruit. We just listen. If we need to tell the other person that her perception was not correct, we can do that a few days later, privately and calmly. And then, at the next beginning Anew session, she may be the person who rectifies the error, and we will not have to say anything. We close the ceremony with a song or by holding hands with everyone in the circle and breathing for a minute. Sometimes we end with hugging meditation. Now, that was beautiful, but I'm going to insert some practical steps. If you have been imagining how you can do this in your own home, you might need some practical steps. And these come to me from Michael Melancon, who is a teacher within Thich Nhat Hanh's Greater Sangha. And I don't know whether they're his words or he got them from somewhere else, but he calls it receiving constructive feedback with grace. He's got 7 steps. 1, we allow the person to speak their truth without interrupting them. 2, when they are finished, we might ask, "May I speak?" 3, we do not argue or defend our position. We acknowledge the person's hurt. If we feel contrite and there is something we can apologize for, now is the time to do it. 4, when a person makes themselves vulnerable and takes a risk to share a hurt, it is important to them that they hear us take ownership and accountability. We may say something like, "I can hear in your voice and in your words how my words or actions have caused you to suffer. I sincerely apologize." 5, we do not say, "I didn't mean to make you suffer." Of course you didn't. And there is a huge difference between the intent and the impact. 6, you may ask for help from the Sangha around. 7, you may ask the offended party if they will please forgive you for the hurt. So I'll finish with Thich Nhat Hanh's words. After the beginning Anew ceremony, everyone feels light and relieved, even if we have taken only preliminary steps towards healing. We have confidence that having begun, we can continue. This practice dates to the time of the Buddha, when communities of monks and nuns practiced beginning anew on the eve of every full moon and every new moon. I hope you will practice beginning anew in your own family every week. So that's the words of my beautiful teacher. And you know, there's a song by Tracy Chapman, pretty old now, that always really struck me in the heart. And I hadn't learned the skills of Thich Nhat Hanh so well at the time it came out. Or maybe I hadn't heard of him, I think. And the words go something like, years gone by and still, words don't come easily. And that just hit me in the heart. And what I have found in my own relationship with my spouse is that to speak words is dangerous, but to write words, to write them down mindfully, and you know, the beauty of it is if you wrote down the wrong words, you can burn that piece of paper or erase if you're doing it on your laptop. So anyway, in December of 2020, my beloved one was just itching to buy a new camper, really to buy a new truck so he could pull a new camper, to buy a new truck and a new camper. And you know, my heart's with Al. I want to drive the electric car and power it from my solar panels. And my life isn't there, but you know, that's what I want. So every time he'd talk about this new vehicle situation, I would ask about the fuel economy. You know, what are the miles per gallon on that setup? And he was getting pretty irritated. And he wrote me what I call a love letter. It was very angry, and he wrote it with a pen, so with a lot of exclamation points, and so hard that it pressed through I don't know how many sheets of paper, you know, the imprint. And I will not read that. So I think the next day or something, I wrote him a letter. I found a card. Online, you might see it. Right? I just found this card. It's pretty. It's got mountains and water and some trees in the front. Dear Jim, I can see that you are very unhappy right now. I can see that some of my words and some of my silence have contributed to our conflict. Our relationship is precious and valuable to me. I would like it to be happy, comfortable, kind, and loving. Please, let's take some time to talk this over so we can understand each other better and meet each other's needs with care and respect. Love, Carol. That was on December 9. On December 10, we took a walk together, which is our pattern in the morning, and I said, I wrote you a love letter. He says, I saw that. I didn't write you one back. I said, okay. That was the 9th. On the 11th, I wrote another letter. Dear Jim, thank you for giving me the letter you wrote a few days ago. The one with all the exclamation points. I learned so many things that are important. Thank you for sharing your true heart. I wonder when you stopped sharing your true heart with me. I wonder when I stopped looking for it. Maybe you have been showing it to me all along, and I have been too absorbed in my own life to see it. You wrote about your dreams of hunting and fishing and having a real truck and a real camper. I truly did not realize that these were/are your life dreams. I did not understand their depth and importance to you. Jim, I want you to be happy. How could you be happy having your dreams dashed? Now that I have a better understanding, please know that I will support your dreams fully. You have supported me and my dreams, and I will support you and yours. With a loving heart, Carol. Now, just as a little add-on, I just got back from 2 weeks in the Dakotas in the new camper with the new truck. and I really have a strong preference to just stay home. I'm very happy here. I'm very happy here. I don't like leaving my gardens and all that and my people, and I'd rather stay here. But I have made the choice on that day that this was my gift to my spouse, to support his dreams, and that if I was going to give a gift, I did not want to give that gift grudgingly. I want to give it openly, lovingly. So that's a way. So I am hoping that this sharing of mine is helpful to you in really not just thinking about, but practicing, beginning anew in some way. I'll go over those parts of the process. And it is considered a meditative process. I certainly consider it when I'm writing. It's harder when speaking to be meditative, but when I'm writing, I can really take my time and go through it. And so the ceremony has 3 parts. We begin with flower watering, saying something that's both beautiful and true about the other person. I remember an example at one of the practice centers I was visiting, that you might be so angry or so philosophically different from that person right there, but she always has beautifully manicured nails, and that might be the thing you could say, you know, Susie, your fingernails, they always look so beautiful, because it's true. If that was the thing you could say, there's something beautiful and true about everybody. We begin with flower watering. I hope you could hear the flower watering that I attempted to put in my letters to Jim. And in the second part, we express regrets for anything we have done to hurt others. And I hope you could hear that in my letter to Jim. In the third part of the ceremony, we express ways in which others have hurt us. I didn't go there with this. Clearly, he was hurt, and this was my response. Yeah. I think that's a good spot to end. Thank you so much for your deep listening. I really hope you could take some of these points home and practice.